Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Dave. I'm back in the flesh for another legendary video. Appreciate you guys coming through, showing your love and support. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you be always in the know when a new video drops from my channel. More importantly, to my subscribers, appreciate you. Much gratitude as you guys continue to be a loyal follower when it came to everything that's going on with the videos that has been dropping. More importantly, we have been changing things up when it comes to overlays and so much more. And as to my new subscribers, feel free to subscribe and you may be entertained when it comes to this YouTube channel. More importantly, I do in-depth reviews, wrestling, stories, anything that's going on in the world, not only in professional wrestling, but as well as reality. But until then, let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty, everything so saucy in professional wrestling, and go ahead and get into the in depth review for Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw started off pretty much red hot for what it was, for the taking of everything. We had a nice, decent card. We had Sami Zayn taking on Luis Kaiser in singles action. We had Drew McIntyre addressing the WWE Universe when it comes to his upcoming match with CM Punk and Hell in a Cell. As well on the card tonight, we end up having an Intercontinental Championship main event as main event Jey Uso took on the big man, Braun Breaker. So other than that, we had so many different things, twists and turns that was leading up towards Bad Blood and Hot Atlanta. But more importantly, they were live in Ontario, California. We had other matches on the card as well with the women's division, as we had Damage Control, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane taking on Unholy Union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. But let's go ahead and get into it. Appreciate you guys still staying through the course of this actual video. We get things underway when it came to Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan arriving and pull up in a lowrider into the arena. The duo is walking into the arena, and then Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed get into a melee brawl to start things off as they continue to fight in battle from last week, and things continue to just pick up in a high pace. They finally make their way directly in towards their entrance and come out to the hot crowd in Southern California. The crowd was booing Dominic Mysterio like it was no tomorrow. Pretty much you couldn't even hear everything throughout the course of this extra promo, but it was decent for what it was. They started off with Liv Morgan Dominic in the ring. Of course, Morgan explained to the crowd that they did what was a victory lap, including the WWE Universe has no idea what it is because they are all losers. As well as Liv Morgan said the revenge tour is in full effect. More importantly, Morgan gloats about taking everything from Rhea Ripley, and including the women's world title, which is currently hers. And the Judgment Day currently is hers. And the most beautiful man in the world, her dirty Dom, her daddy, Dominic Mysterio. The crowd continues to boo. Rhea Ripley music hits right away. Didn't even give them enough time. Rhea walks up there and she notes and she tells them that she has a message for Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. She says she's not going to put her hands on Liv Morgan, but more importantly, she's going to get straight to the point and promises not to attack her. But Dominic steps in front of Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley mocks Dominic and finally says he's finally got a set of balls, but tells him to step off. And she said, or more importantly, if he doesn't step off, she will end him right then and there. Morgan knows that Ripley cared half as much about Dominic as she does in Damian Priest. But more importantly, Rhea says she wouldn't have lost him if she would have paid more attention to Dominic. Things pick up quickly as Morgan tells Rhea Ripley that she beat her because she's smarter than her. More importantly, she knows she's fully cleared for Bad Blood, but things really broke down when Rhea Ripley said she has a stipulation in which she talked to Adam Pearce, and that he decided Dominic will be hanging in a shark's cage at Bad Blood. Morgan and Dominic are livid. They're pissed off about the whole entire situation and vows to win. And of course, Rhea vows to win back her women's championship. And she chuckles and tells Liv Morgan she lied about what she said earlier, as Liv Morgan was looking puzzled, kind of confused about the whole situation. And then Rhea obliterates her with a headbutt, smiles off, and walks directly out the ring to end the actual segment. The segment was good for what it was. It was a solid 3.9 out of 5 stars. It still kept me invested, but it was cool build up to the storyline of the women's world title match of the revenge tour and then Rhea Ripley getting her payback. And overall, the opening segment was solid for what it was. It was calm, cool, and collective. Besides all the chaos that was going on between Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed in the back, of course, different things that were going on between them scrambling through the course of the actual segment. But in overall, it was okay for what it was, and it kept me invested through how things were breaking down. Of course, Eddie Guerrero most likely probably was happy the way how Dominic Mysterio rolled up in a low rider, somewhat giving thought about his uncle, more importantly, showing love to him. Then we get ready for the first match of the night is Sami Zayn versus Luis Kaiser. This match started off red hot, 100%. From everything from the start of this match to the beginning, it was everything you truly could have asked for. Sami Zayn forced Kaiser into the corner and stumped him in the mud hole through the course of the match. Not shockingly, Kaiser rolled out of the ring to stop Zayn's momentum, but Zayn followed up by getting into it and then stepping into the steps. Kaiser works over Sami Zayn. Then the fight spills out directly out on the outside of the ring as Kaiser sends Zayn into the barricade. Zayn hops onto the barricade for a moonsault, but Kaiser pushes him off the barricade into the timekeeper's area. After the breakup, Sami Zayn fires back up and then sends Kaiser into the corner with an exploder, but Kaiser avoids a haluva kick to send Sami Zayn into the ring steps on the outside. Sami Zayn ends up sitting against the steps. Kaiser crushes Zayn with a running drop kick all around the world, a super drop kick, as most of the announcers have been calling when people go across all around the whole entire ring or something like that. They call it a super move. So pretty much Kaiser argues with the referee as they get close to the 10 count, and Sami Zayn worked his way in overtime to get back in the ring before the actual 10 count. Kaiser then picks up Sami Zayn and then counters with a German suplex. Kaiser stumbles into the corner, and Sami Zayn counters into a haluva kick to get the pinfall for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Gunther storms directly there, grabs a mic. Gunther gets straight to business. He says that Sami Zayn has been begging for weeks for a championship title shot. After Gunther just witnessed here and now the time and the place to tell Sami Zayn the answer to his challenge is still going to be no. Gunther laughs off and walks away. More importantly, Sami Zayn was looking pissed off. But in overall, everything was looking good when it came to how Sami Zayn approached everything in this match. Both of these guys put on a clinic. Luis Kaiser was amazing the way how he handled himself through the course of everything in this match. More importantly, it left nothing unturned when it came to how things were breaking down through the course of the actual match. Follow up with that, things get underway when it came to the New Day as being a new way. Backstage, Xavier Woods is pondering with something. Kofi walks up to him and he tries to get Woods to pump up for the 10-year anniversary, as the team in November will be celebrating their anniversary. Kingston even broke out the old Bootios, Francesca, and one of the Bootio cereal that they had out for the entrance at WrestleMania. Woods says all that stuff was all fun again, but when they were on top. Kofi agrees, and he admits that he is making a bad choice since the last few weeks, and things need to turn around and they need to get more serious. And he says he wants to be the man that calls the plays when it comes to the New Day moving forward. American Raid interrupts them and comes directly there to chat with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, which leads to Woods challenging the Creed brothers to a tag team match. Woods and Kingston embrace each other after the whole situation. And of course, a couple guys end up coming down with a plate of pancakes, which had me dying out laughing, which is kind of hilarious. Kingston tells him to go away before Woods turns around and gets upset about the whole situation. But that was kind of funny. It was all right segment for what it was, but it was funny. But I like to see how things continue to pick up with the storyline. as it looks like Xavier Woods will be turning heel, just a matter of time of seeing how things continue to pick up. Through the course of the New Day problems, as well as American Made having their direct issues still with the Wyatt Six, and as well as now continue to make enemies through the course of the Red brand. Backstage, we have Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio complaining to Raw GM about the whole situation with the Shark Cage at Bad Blood. And of course, Adam Pearce gets serious and says it's still official. They get upset. The other members of Judgment Day comes to console them about the whole situation and says they need to take care of the LWO. And of course, Liv Morgan hypes them guys up and tell them go handle business and take care of the problem. And then, of course, they run into Ilya Dragunov, who was having issues with them for the past few weeks of having new friends instead of being aligned with them. So we shall see how that storyline picks up as well. But they kind of gave him a pass because Finn wasn't there tonight to kind of press him and handle and set the course of how things were going to run with the Judgment Day. Then we got to the action of Dragon Lee with the LWO against Carlito of the Judgment Day. Immediately, this match sends Carlito out with a drop kick to start things off as Dragon Lee took advantage of everything. Lee lands a dive, and then Carlito cuts him off with a stuff clothesline. More importantly, Lee sends Carlito into the corner with a basement dropkick. Follow McDonough hops onto the apron, and then Dominic and McDonough talks out that not only talks out to talk to the referee, but the LWO comes to the ringside and gets into a brawl with the Judgment Day. Dominic and McDonough celebrate after things break down after they took out the LWO. Rey Mysterio appears out of nowhere, takes out Dominic with a West Coast pot, and on top of that, he ended up going after the other members. From there, Dragon Lee hits the Destiny for the 1-2-3 on Carlito, who was highly distracted, and things broke down from there. This match was short, but it had a little bit to a point to it. But it still had a lot of its problems when it came to the issues of how they keeping things with the chemistry. I feel like it fell flat with the LW and the Dragon Lee, as well as the other members of the Judgment Day. But overall, Carlito pretty much lost his momentum after everything that has happened since he's an official member of the Judgment Day, and it made him look bad. But in overall, I feel like they were just trying to fill up time for this actual match after a great match between Sami Zayn and Luis Kaiser that really stole the show at the beginning of the course of the Red brand. Then we get to Bronson Reed and The Miz, who gets things underway. But before he even gets things underway, Karrion Kross talks to The Miz to tell him go back to his original self, who he was. Be that badass that he's known to be. More importantly, go back to being the person who does not care about anyone. More importantly, be a selfish self. But it was intriguing to see how that things unfolded. The Miz ends up coming down. Bronson Reed comes down. Before Bronson Reed gets a chance, Braun Strowman leaps over the barricade and I blasted Bronson Reed. Follow up with a clothesline on Reed and then a chokeslam onto the apron. The Miz gets involved and gets frustrated. Follows with the distraction between those two arguing. Bronson Reed does a suicide dive onto the outside to knock both of them actually down. Things really break down afterwards as the melee of a brawl continued to go through the course afterwards, resulting not into a match, but a disqualification. The match didn't even get the ring, no contest. The big man went back and forth, throwing security around. We even saw a tsunami as Bronson Reed hit a tsunami on the security. And of course, Braun Strowman was hitting this patented power slams on pretty much every single security came in contact with. They were able to initially break them up after they were getting ready to go for a superplex off the top ropes, and they were able to break them all up after everything broke down. The segment was okay, but of course, the Meat Fest was okay for what it was. It just felt kind of flat. But I understand what they're trying to put into the story is, but I feel bad for The Miz, as The Miz pretty much lost his momentum of trying to find his piece of who he is. Feeling like they just stepped over him and just forgot who he was when it came to the course of everything that was going on. We get to Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, as he prepares for Hell in a Cell. He's in for an in-ring segment. His presence is there as calm, cool, and collective. He looks peed off, but more importantly, he's serious. He noted about CM Punk's words. McIntyre keeps thinking about the look in CM Punk's eyes. He says he could see Punk meant every word that he said last week, and McIntyre says he always have been honest. More importantly, so he allowed him to continue to do so. McIntyre admits that he didn't want to step into Hell in a Cell again, but Punk's family has begged him not to have this match. McIntyre even says that his own family told him the same thing, not to be involved in this match. McIntyre's wife begged him to get away from Punk, and she sees how much of the situation has changed her husband. And McIntyre says it doesn't matter what his family thinks, but he promises to make CM Punk bleed and bleed a lot. Punk has always seen himself as a godlike, but not just as a man, but Punk is a man that McIntyre has broken in the past, and he would do so again, once again inside of Hell in a Cell. And overall, this segment was cool for what it was. It was a chef's kiss. It delivered on spot to what it initially needed to be. More importantly, Drew McIntyre was serious, and then of course, this match is going to deliver when it comes to the Hell in a Cell. Both of these men have bad blood for each other, and they really have a staying look of what they feel about each other. And it's going to be brutal. Most men do not come out the same through the course of being inside the Hell in a Cell. But I highly recommend for you guys to see that actual match in the upcoming 2 weeks from now in October, as they will be live in Atlanta, and we get the return of the Hell in a Cell. We get things underway for tag team action. We have Damage Control and Io Sky and Kairi Sane against the Unholy Union, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. This match was Smash Mouth. It was calm, cool, and collective. A lot of transitional moves. You got everything that you really wanted when it came to this tag team match. But before they got the match underway, Damage Control was at the gorilla position. They was approached by the ESTs of WWE. The ESTs of WWE had a lot to say. They admitted that if they want to go, come forward. And of course, Bianca Belair talked about how things really ran to the course of them being involved in a singles match and how great it was. And if she wants some more, she knows where to find her. But of course, that's going to set the tone for whoever will be the number one contenders, as Io Sky and Kairi Sane took on Alba Fire and Isla Dawn in tag team action. This match was short-lived, but the Isla Dawn and Alba Fire took control of the match very early. Sky tagged Insane, leading to a double team move. Damage Control took control of the match afterwards after landing a fury of offenses, including a double spear in the corner. Sane couldn't hold Dawn down after hitting a diving elbow from Sane. Dawn stunned Sane previously with her injured eye off the top rope. And then Sky checks on Sane, but Fire surprises her with a suicide dive. Sane managed to tag in Sky, who clears out the ring completely, and she lands an elbow out of the ring as Sky hits the over-the-moon moonsault to secure the victory for her tag team. As this match was even great, it was okay for what it was. More importantly, these ladies had good chemistry. It was everything overall you really could have asked for in a tag team match. It was fun spots. It was a lot of hot tags. And more importantly, the crowd was awake through the course of this tag team match. They had everything that you truly could have had for. But when it came to Damage Control, the biggest threat is going to be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. More importantly, but Damage Control has the advantage when it comes to the overall performance of who they are as a tag team. But we shall see how things continue to pick up as the tag team division is kind of picking up. But more importantly, we continue to be invested through the course of the Monday Night Raw Women's Division. Adam Pearce, he announces that Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed will have a last monster match, a last monster standing match, which is original course of being a last man standing match. Things are going to hit off a chord as nothing's gonna stop these two big men from destroying each other. More importantly, it's gonna be interesting to see what can these big men do. They may end up destroying the ring. They may be fighting in the crowd. They may just tear each other limb from limb. But both of these men will not be the same with these two big men going into town like true big monsters in a meat to meat confrontation. We get ready for the New Day versus American Made in tag team action. Both teams was red hot through the course of the matches. It was a fun tag team match. It was everything that you truly could have asked for. The Creeds wrestled in their new ring gear. More importantly, it was a lot of back and forth. They had great chemistry. More importantly, it was everything that you could have asked for in this match. Both teams traded shots back and forth, starting off the match. Brutus lighting up Woods with a couple of shots, and then Woods gets angry and fires up. He hits a superplex on one side, and then lands Julius with another one on the other side. After the break, Julius and Brutus are working over on Xavier Woods. Kingston gets the hot tag, but the referee didn't see it. Kingston and the referee argue back and forth as Gabe and Brutus attack Woods. Woods managed to tag in Kingston, and then, of course, Kingston clears the ring out. Julius eats a trouble of paradise. Woods sets up for the limit break elbow drop, but he got distracted by Chad Gable. He took his frustrations through Chad Gable directly to the ring and started putting the beat down to him. He loses it, and he was frustrated. After they pulled Chad Gable directly out of the ring, they took advantage of everything afterwards as they unloaded a unicorn stomp to Chad Gable, and then Julius attacks from behind. Brutus hits the Doomsday Brutus ball for the win for the 1-2-3, and they panic Xavier Woods to seal off the victory for them afterwards. It was described when it came to the overall new attire of American Made as being like Kurt Angle singlets, but a downgraded version. But overall, it was what you expected when it came to this tag team division. I wasn't seeing a New Day progression in the long run, but you're seeing them no longer being jolly and happy, and they're a little bit more serious when it comes to how things have been picking up through the course of that actual match. Afterwards, we get Xavier Woods, who has been backstage venting his frustrations. They run into the LW, who try to apologize to Xavier Woods. But Xavier Woods was not having it. He was not caring it. He disrespected Rey Mysterio. Tomorrow, everybody's getting all this advice, and because he's not a world champion. And Kofi was trying to help him out as well. But it set the tone for a match, for a singles match between Rey Mysterio and Xavier Woods. It's going to be a banger next week, as LWO's Rey Mysterio said he's calm, cool, and collected about that. He's going to take us away from Judgment Day, and he's going to focus directly on Xavier Woods. We're going to see how things continue to progress. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have that Xavier Woods heel turn. I know a lot of people are thinking maybe he'll join the Final Testament, but I see him just being on his own. We get ready for the main event of the night. Main event, Jey Uso taking on the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. What more can you got to this match? This match was smash mouth, great moves after counters, and so much more to this match. Breaker overpowers Jey Uso early through the course of the match. Jey sends Breaker into the ring, and then Breaker tries to take the momentum. But Jey surprises him with a dive, and then after the break, Jey does a leapfrog and then gets caught with a Steiner slam, and then Breaker works over Jey Uso, and then Breaker turns things into a suplex each other back and forth. Breaker and Richie splits the difference by dropping Jey off the top ropes with the Frankensteiner, the Super Frankensteiner. He does a couple of push-ups as well for the pinfall, like the 1-2. He does the big Papa Pump push-ups. Jey clothesline Breaker off the top rope, and then Jey tries to dive and gets caught. Breaker slams him into the commentary desk and then dives directly off the apron onto the commentary desk with a clothesline. It goes into a series of breaks through the course of how things are breaking down. They exchange strikes back and forth until Braun Breaker gets into a gorilla position for a power slam. And then Jey kicks out at a 2 count. Breaker visibly is frustrated and he continues to roll through the course of everything. Jay rolls out the ring. Breaker tries to land a super spear on the floor, but is set up. But Jay counters with a super spear of his own. Uso splash for the 1-2 at 2.9, and the fans were on their feet. Breaker tosses him directly out the ring, try to go for another super spear. And Jay counters with a superplex, not superplex, but a super kick. Jay spears him through the barricade, rolls him directly into the ring, and sets him up for the Uso splash to get the victory for the 1-2-3. Through the course of everything was looking live, and it was everything you truly could have asked for through the course of this main event, and it was calm, cool, and collective. Jay won the Intercontinental Championship, something another member of long lineage when it comes to a family member of the World Wrestling Entertainment, as his father Rikishi was a former Intercontinental champion. Dwayne The Rock Johnson was as well. Now he's the next one in line to be the Intercontinental champion along with Roman Reigns. This clearly was a great match, the most popular match of the night. Jey Uso was head over heels. The fans were all over it. Does this take away from Bron Breakker? No, it does not. Bron Breakker held his own through the course of this actual match, and this match was decent. It was calm, cool, and collective, and I could see him getting ready to go to the next level for the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. But Jey Uso is now working his way up to the next level. As you know, was when you come to Intercontinental champion. They'll see how you do, and if you do well, you be into the big spot next. Through the course of everything, things are going to be very bizarre of seeing how things are going to turn out with the whole bloodline drama. Will Jey Uso be involved with more games looming? More than clearly, unless if Jey Uso is going to play a part of it. But seeing him with the championship gold, it was a chef's kiss, and it was truly needed when it came to Jey Uso. The build-up to the match was calm, cool, and collective. It was everything that you truly could have asked for. But in the overall, Monday Night Raw was decent. It was a 4.2 out of 5 stars, and it delivered how it needed to be done. Once it hit the home court towards the 2-hour mark, it's going to be great 100%. I highly recommend for you guys to check out the Vince McMahon documentary that will be airing this following Wednesday. More importantly, I appreciate you guys coming through and showing your love and support for this channel. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll hit you guys on the next one. Until then,